folks. Hello there, people. We are live now, and we are here to view a match, a Patreon match that is paid in, I believe, by Jeff.
7733.
Exactly. For us to stream this match. In the spin ladder. It is the semi-finals between him and Superfed TV, also a very known name within the community, I would say. Right? And
Well, unless you live under a rock like me, so don't know the guy.
Exactly. And then we have Keftek, right? That's how you say your name?
Cheftek.
Cheftek, yeah.
Yeah.
Hello there, awesome meme. So we are gonna start with looking at the teams real quick and seeing. Is this where the Jeff game will be? Yep. Precisely. You have entered the right place. So let's take a quick gander at Jeff's team. He has 12 players. Many block, though it is a standard Chaos team in my mind at least.
Well, basically all the Chaos Warriors are in a good position. Block is basically the starting skill.
Yeah, exactly. And he
unless you get a strength up, then you take the strength.
Yeah, exactly, which he did, right?
Yeah. Nothing out of the ordinary there.
No, not really. I mean, one blodge goat. I would imagine that's his usual like carrier goat,
Probably.
so to say. Since it has a bit of a harder time to get the ball off that player. But at the same time, I wouldn't be surprised if Jeff is mid-maxing SPP and trying to carry on some other piece.
Especially that you got two beastmen that need only basically have an LPS to level up, so...
Yeah, exactly. And I mean that Chaos Warrior with Mighty Blow as well is only 2 SPP away.
Yeah.
I would see that he's probably gonna punch with that rather than doing anything else, but yeah.
Yeah, because having basically Strength 4 and Mighty Blow is quite a good chance you'll level up.
Exactly.
Punching those spore zombies in the face.
Precisely. Shall we take a gander over at the Necro team as well, that we are watching this evening? It is a good Necro team also, isn't it?
Yes, quite. Well, basically, there are no ghouls here.
Yeah. So the carrying is gonna happen on a wolf, right? That's the golden rule.
9 out of 10 times.
Yeah.
The odd thing here is that he has a cheerleader and an assistant coach. Which is quite odd, to be honest, because you don't want to pump your team value to give your opponents any petty cash. But on the other hand, the inducements you can buy, well, they aren't so powerful as they are in the tabletop version. So
no,
the rules still stands, but sometimes it can be a real on your side just for the one cheerleader or the one assistant coach.
Yeah. And as we are seeing as well, I just got a message here from Jeff that they are in inducements, and apparently the Necro coach scummed a wizard. So he put in 130k of his own cash to scum that wizard. So it's really a win, apparently, that he really want to take.
Yeah.
Which is understandable, being semi-finals, and... I mean, I think you can play the team. I haven't really looked into the rules, but now let's see. If I just enter in Rebel, will that game come up? I wonder. Yeah, it did. Mofos versus Chaos Spin.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, basically, you take the filter back to Chaos, and Necromantic is the only game starting right now. So.
Yeah.
There's the other version.
Yeah.
Well, basically, about the Necro build, some coaches, and I'm one of those coaches, when you start playing Necro, you don't go for the ghouls very early on because you are more. Basically, the werewolves are much more with a high. Well, sorry, are a higher priority to level up. So you
Yeah.
take first the standard build, and then when the wolves got for one or two skills, basically I prefer to get after getting block on them, but some prefer to take two skills on them. Then you go for the ghouls
Yeah. I can see that.
because having those two extra guys, it's always nice. But on the other hand, you do have to focus on developing the hard hitters
Yep,
and the
you do.
werewolves due to the fact that they are much more mobile than the rest of the team. They'll do most of the times be very deep in the enemy field, and there are very high chances that they can get punched one or two times too much and they can die.
Yeah,
When you got the
exactly.
ghouls, the speed is quite. You got two other guys that can support them much more easier.
Yeah, but then you leap of the risk of having players that can die, right?
Yeah, basically, this is
Because
the only
ghouls
problem
tend
when you're
to go
playing
whack.
Necro or the Undead. The ghouls are the only thing that they are low armor and have no options if they get any injury because you have no apothecary and no regeneration.
And we also see a beer stand on one of the stadiums that they
Oh,
are, the
well,
current
love it.
stadium that they are in. I would imagine it is the Necro Stadium.
Well, basically, hard to say because if it's the Necro or the Chaos Stadium, both of them can use because yes, for the Necro team, pushing up opponents and taking the +1 is quite nice, especially with the werewolves that got frenzy. But looking at the fact that the chaos team basically doesn't have a dedicated blitzer because everybody blitzes the same in this team.
Yeah,
If
but
it's a goat, if it's a Kazor, it's the same. You can also use disadvantages, and also it works more like a scarecrow because most of the players will try to not run next to the
sideline.
end zones sideline. Sorry,
Yeah, but at the same
quite a bit
time,
biased.
like I prefer to have whenever I have a base stand, I would ever you only take a base stand when I have frenzy on a team, as well.
Well,
I wouldn't.
it's much more easier to use. Yes.
Yeah, because then you basically cut not only cutting off one line, you're cutting off two lines on towards the sideline.
And we got a kick
Yeah,
and
a
a high
high
kick.
kick as well. Yeah, so I'm thinking this is Superfit's stadium so far. And we are seeing that the Blodge Beastman is indeed the ball carrier that, like I said before.
Well, as for the starters, yes, he can be the carrier. He doesn't have to score.
Yeah, exactly. But we are seeing a tackle on one of the werewolves, so Jeff is gonna have to watch out for that one. Since that's gonna be the main chaser that is gonna go into the ball sacking position.
Yeah.
Also, greetings, Michael.
Hello.
The ghouls were non-existing, I believe, ever in this team.
Well, it's not garbage. Basically, if you play without the goals, you eliminate the weak factor in your team. They are fast, they got dodge, and they can do a lot of things. But on the other hand, they are quite fragile. And Necro, as a whole team, is quite tough.
Let's see if I can find these teams some other way.
Probably on rebel.net, the site you should all visit.
Yeah, I'm already on my way over there. 3 steps ahead of you.
No, I'm not going there. You're the main caster. I'm just here to make stupid comments.
Yeah. So far, we see a lot of blocking, which is normal. It's only LOS hits. I would have loved to seen Jeff blitz one of those flesh golems, since he actually did have like a mighty blow claw. I don't think it would have cost him that much to base up with a beastman. Straight on, and then just base one of the zombies on the side and blitz the flesh golem instead, just of the chance of taking off out of guard since you have claw in the immediate. Problem is, I guess, that with that you're probably leaving more players based than you would like, so that's why we're seeing the blitz on the side here on the zombie.
Or basically the problems in the fact that we're facing the underworld. Underworld, sorry, did play
The
a game
necro.
underworld 10 minutes ago. When you're facing the necro, is that you have to remember that the zombies are cheap,
Yep.
are quite durable, and they'll be a pain in your ass. They don't do much, but they're still there, and you have to still deal with them.
Yep.
And
Precisely.
ending up with a guy that's, for example, a chaos warrior standing up and fighting a zombie is just wasting points. When we got a blitz on the 5 SPP Bestigor and down, no armor break. Oh, piling gun and stun,
Misdone, indeed.
which hurts to be honest.
It hurts more than you would think. Whenever you're getting more stuns as a team, so per se, and you're receiving the stuns, they are as lethal as KOs, or can be. Especially if the opponent is fast enough to take advantage of those stuns as well.
Yeah.
Since you're not only on the ground for one turn, you're actually on the ground and you have to stand up back again and then actually try to move, right?
Yeah.
Though I wonder here the same though why Superfed didn't opt out to blitz the Chaos Warrior instead in the front with the
Yeah,
werewolf.
especially that. Yeah, he could blitz it with the werewolf using just a little support of the zombie, and we'll be fine.
Yeah, exactly. But
Basically, are
I
playing both
imagine
very
these
safe.
yeah, I imagine these two will want to play a slow game though. So I
No.
imagine we will see them staying in this formation for a long while.
Yep. Now we got the first L dodge. And whammo! Another stun.
Precisely. This time though, only on a zombie and not as on a beastman.
Yeah. Well, basically, if we're looking for playing APs versus APs, these zombies don't have their equivalent on the chaos side because losing a zombie is, well, happens. So on the other hand, if the beastman goes down, it's much harder to replace.
Exactly. Yep.
And however, they both got a bench of one player, so
Precisely.
no other
Let's
inducements.
spin.
So we going to have a kick.
Yeah, we are gonna have a foul on this
Oh,
Mighty Blow
wham.
White. And it's a send out as well. And a stun.
Yeah. Well, basically, when you're using piling gun, you do have to consider that you are putting yourself in for the opponent because it's quite tempting to kick the guy that's lying down,
Precisely.
especially in Blood Bowl.
Yeah. Though I think this foul was correct, since it was a high value target. He was fouling with a normal beastman. He's not losing any advantage for it,
Yeah,
rather than just gaining.
The only pity is that this was the beastman with the 5 SPPs, but
Yeah,
the lower one sits on the bench, so yeah.
I don't
But
think you would care much about that if you could win the game of it.
of course. And there is a high chance of getting rid of the player, so yeah. It's always nice.
Now, looking at the teams, I could not find them, unfortunately, on rebel.net.
Impossible.
I thought I did, but it seems like I did not. Right,
Okay, so the doggy engages the beastman, and what do we have here? Another stun.
Let's see.
Well, basically, the chaos player at this moment has to take in consideration that he doesn't have a bench.
Yeah, very much so. He needs really much to take into consideration for that. See if I can find these guys. Nope.
I just need to
These
turn
teams
down
do
the
not. It's not updated on rebel.net. So unfortunately, I can't tell you guys if they have had any previous injuries or so. Unfortunately, though I see now that he has free movement here with his flesh column in straight in to mark the ball carrier. Annoying piece to have on a ball carrier, wouldn't you say? Being stand firm block guard.
Well, basically, the only thing he needs to be more happy, to be more annoying, is a tackle.
Yeah, exactly, precisely. Now, if you are the chaos side, what would you do here? Like, there's not that many options to blitz. You can either blitz the flesh golem, not really make your way out, right? You don't really have a position where you can make a cage somewhere.
Well, to be honest, at this moment, it's a bit risky, but considering that I have 3 rerolls, we'll just go with the Chaos Warrior, Decan Trim, Chaos, or whatever, the block guy, went for the werewolf, dodge with the beastman, and hide him beneath the guys that were assisting with the fall.
Yeah, that was my
So,
main plan as well.
yeah.
And
Especially the fact that he is marking the beastman, but the beastman doesn't care because he's marked from only one side.
yeah, the thing here as well that I think Superfed kind of forgot is that Chaos Warrior beside that Wolf is a strength up Chaos Warrior. I don't think he cares that much about being marked like that, since it's still a 2-die on that Wolf that Jeff will gladly take.
Yeah. But it was only a bow down, so nothing happened.
Yeah. Now is the 3+ out a bit more riskier. I would imagine that you're blitzing that Wolf on the side, like you said, and then just dodging out.
Yeah.
Maybe eating even a team reroll for that.
No, he's not. So he will. I think that he'll probably try to blitz it with the ball carrier. Or one
But
of
you
the.
don't really earn anything on that, do you? Because you can, if you blitz, would you have to dodge out and then blitz the werewolf on the right, right? But you
Yeah, but
won't do that.
you still have to dodge out, so there's
Yeah.
no difference in this part. Only the fact that you are putting the ball carrier in a bit more risk. The one thing I did see is the fact that he started moving his pieces before he took the beastman up from lying down, which for me is quite a mistake because you do first thing you always try to do is to pick up all the guys because then those are action without risk.
Yeah,
So you do
very much so.
unrisky actions first and then the risky ones. Okay, so now he's trying to get rid of the zombie here, but
I wonder what the blitz is on that guy and the plan is now. Is the plan to move around and then shuck the ball down, maybe? Is my question now?
probably.
The
but
dodge is
still-
fine.
Yeah, but still, this is only a 3+ dodge to
One,
get
two,
yourself free on the werewolf side, so
6.
it's not that scary.
And now
The
it's G5 to be able to make that a 3+3+ if you're willing to pass that
really
to make it safe. Or 2+,
Okay, so-
2+.
okay. Is there an option to move that fast back? Well, no, and he has a reroll. Okay, this is an option, very risky one, but this is also an option.
And he decides to move the goat back, yeah. Meaning that Superfed right now has a 3+ to be able to hit the ball with a 1-die, I imagine, and a G5. That's
Okay,
one of
we
the
got the first injury.
classes. Yep. Just
And
badly hurt.
regenerated, so nothing happened.
Yep. Some fine SPP though for that block.
Yeah.
Good.
To be honest, I think this is a bit of a mistake on the chaos side.
I would say so too. I didn't see many ways out, but I saw some pathways out where he could have easily have maybe blocked the flesh golem, maybe even blitzed the zombie down here, moved down to the southwest, side of the pitch, taking those guys on the foul to move them over and make a screen basically against the whole Necro team that had a bit like extended too far, I would think. But this might have worked out as well. We will,
Especially that even due to the popular opinion, Cass is much more faster than the Necro.
Yeah.
Overall.
Yeah,
because
very
yes,
much
Necro has the werewolves that are much faster, but the rest of the team is quite slow.
Yeah, the rest of the team is only movement 4. You do have 2 movement 6 players, but if, like I said, you would have moved around with those 3 players that were basically used for being assistants for the foul, they could have wrapped around and screamed off the whites that were in action.
Okay, I don't get why he does not pick up Zombie. I know why he didn't pick up the Wraith, because he is probably going to blitz with him, not the Zombie.
I think you also, when you're not picking up players, these two are so high tactical players that they might have other plans for the players. In some of the cases,
Yeah.
many of the cases it might be that they just forgot as well. But one thing here that we do need to remember is that the Necro team do have a wizard as well. Maybe Jeff is playing around that.
Maybe he's trying to bait the wizard. There is also an option there.
Yeah, precisely.
Okay, so we got rid, at least for a few turns, from the Strength 5 Cast Warrior.
Yep. I like this assistance and blocking this.
Will he move?
I think you pile on this, right?
Wouldn't.
You wouldn't do it?
Nah. Not at this moment. Looking how the team is all set up, wouldn't do it. The Wraith is much more valuable standing rather than lying down.
I see.
Because if you don't break the armor, you got a goat that just stands up and blitzes the Wraith on 2 dice. So if you do the break armor, it's a high risk, high reward situation, but for me too risky.
Okay. No, I actually totally...
Also, we got a dodging zombie.
We do. I totally disagree with you. I think the Necro's position is perfect. They didn't really take any more risk than just reward in this case. There's not a more value of having him standing up. Especially since you have zombies already around the pitch. All of the other players of the Chaos team is already marked. They might be the only one that when he moved the wolf, he freed up this zombie to be able to assist onto this Chaos Warrior. That is easily broken though by just standing up a single player or something. And you're still marking the downed beastman as well with the anti-full white. But also, I think here for Jeff is the plan really to play it slow and do a 2-1 grind, right? This is the plan of both the coaches, I would presume.
Now, I would just move the lying beastman, pass the ball to the guy that is standing and running around. Yeah, because the flash golem cannot run to him. Yep, it's a good option. Changing the sides from one to the other. He has the option to do it. And he's very safe if he uses the okay, so he's moving down here. Still in wolf range, so not that good. Wolf range, right? Yeah. He's a range of too many pieces. And also, we got what I told you he will do.
I just realized that I haven't changed my title. I'm just gonna do that.
So what's the title of this stream?
Recap.
Okay. Well, this is a recap in some way.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, it's just not a week 9 to 8 or to 9 recap, right? Now it says a bit better. Should be. So we see Jeff moving down the pitch here, clearing out those players with ease and making a screen rather than in a cage. Not really having the players to form a real cage, I imagine.
To be honest, I'm not a fan of building a cage because, especially when he is a wizard, he's just asking for it.
Yeah.
And to be honest, other than playing dwarves, 9 out of the 10 times building a cage means that you have absolutely no idea what to do. Because you are using a lot of your players to do it, when most of the times a screen is much more better.
I understand your point, but sometimes a cage is the strongest formation to keep a ball safe. When you're in a tight spot, etc, etc. But I really understand your comment there. Now, there is a shot here on the ball for a 1-die. I don't believe zombie defies are semi-cursed, I would imagine, as any other slow lineman is, right? You just don't do them. And since Superfed picked up that zombie, we are not seeing any wizard action on this turn. Might be that the wolves and the Agi4 are still marked and or being too far away.
So he is marking the ball carrier, but
yes. I kind of like
moment,
this because he's slowly putting pressure on the opposing team, but still taking advantage over his claw here. I'm imagining we are seeing. No, we are not.
Yeah, that's the thing. I'm thinking that he is not playing to the maximum of his advantages.
I would say the same, yeah.
Okay, so you free the race, but what now?
Exactly. Pylon, I guess. I just keep that pylon clustered down with Gorilla Glue. Yeah. I guess you might. I guess you're putting enough pressure for on the Chaos team here to the point where he needs to score, right? That's what's happening at the moment. If you're looking at the team positionals and where they're standing compared to the other team, we're having a lot more zombies, necrotic players around the ball than Chaos players. A large bunch of the Chaos players are aimed up here.
Yeah, but on the other hand, he's dodging too much with the zombies.
So far, the dodges with the zombies have been on the end and have been powerful dodges, but they probably were calculated, so if they failed, it wouldn't matter so much.
To be honest, this less dodge, it would matter very much, because if the zombie fails, you got a free goat that can make your ball carrier free. So
yeah, I understand your point.
well, on the other hand, we do have to consider the fact that looking at the game and playing the game is two different things.
Exactly, and also something that I also would say is that I'd rather be laying on the ground with a player than standing next to a Mighty Blow player, because the ground doesn't have Mighty Blow.
Yeah. Honor is still playing on Astral Granite.
Exactly, unless you're playing on Astral Granite. But now it's gonna...
If I recall correctly, Astral Granite in Blood Bowl 2 works only on GFI, so we're still safe.
Yeah. Now, are you just blitzing here with your goat carrier on the zombie, and then you're just moving in down for the score? I think there's so much pressure here at this point, like, it's gonna be hard for you to stall for another turn.
Okay.
Unless he changes direction, I imagine, and puts it to the west-south side of the field.
So he'll be trying to... Oh,
Yep,
dear
yep, yep,
me.
yep, 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 yep. Was that the correct move? Probably not in my book.
Nope.
I'm thinking if he could have done anything else. I could see what he was doing if he was moving with the Beastman down to the southwest corner of that movement, so to the middle of the pitch. At the same time, maybe not the right move. Could have blitzed straight down. Could have just blocked there. These two would have still made a screen towards the players on top. You're not that likely to move that fast with the Flash Golem either down.
Yeah,
So there
so
were a lot of other options than doing the play that Jeff did there.
yeah, and basically he has options of pushing out a lot of players if he plays it correctly.
Precisely,
But
yeah.
he won't do it.
Oh,
Okay.
see a break from that mighty blow. It is a badly hurt. Will it pile on though? Nope. So that is an Atbode Beastman with the block guard. Probably valuing that guard enough to be rescued by the doctor.
Okay, so he's trying to do...
And here, this is a surf attempt.
Yeah, didn't work.
No, you take the blocks and then you try to pick up the ball, right? As Necro, I would imagine.
Yes,
With
so
the-
the 4-edge guy,
Yeah.
he should have the ball in a second. Or not.
And he doesn't. I understand the reroll here. For picking up the
Yeah.
ball would mean basically that the Chaos team is not scoring this half, right?
Yeah. Also, I'll get him as far as from here as I could.
Yeah.
Not an ideal position.
I think that's good enough because both of those
Both
beastmen.
of those dodges. Oh,
Yeah, both of those dodges aren't really that great. It's a 4+ for each of them, and the hit back is only a 1 die. Though they have block already. One of the beastmen doesn't even have block for that, and that would be a 4+4+ to be able to even
Yep.
reach that. The dodge one
Yeah.
has a 4+ into 1 die. When you could try to scatter out the dice, but then you have still only 3 turns or 2 more turns to score, which would mean that you'd have to score on the Blodge Beastman anyway, right? And do a pass play.
Well, the Chaos did get himself outmaneuvered. That's the problem.
He really did. He really did.
And the funny thing that he did to himself, because there weren't as much pushes from the Necro side to outmaneuver him. He just played to the thing that he got from the Chaos, so basically it was the Chaos team that outmaneuvered itself.
Yes.
And we got another badly hurt zombie. Ooh,
That's a failed
regeneration
regen.
fail. That hurts.
Though it is just a badly hurt, so the zombie's fine.
Well, basically they came back to being playing both without the bench at this moment.
Yep. I think also that's why the Apo from the Chaos Coach was so strong to make there. Not only because of the skills of that Beastman, but also because, well, you're back up to the same number as your opponent. He successfully
And he
did the
did
4+, and the block was on okay. The ball, though, on the other hand, still a 4+ to pick up. Succeeded it.
And now, oh,
Failed the G5.
Come on,
You do
you can
reroll
do
this,
it.
though.
Of course.
And he makes it. Well done.
Okay, so now I got only one question for you, my friend.
Yes.
What is your plan to
You
get this guy to safety?
You
Okay.
stand there.
The plan just failed.
Yeah, the plan just failed.
Failed
Probably
hard.
the plan was probably just to mark that white to move him 1 square, or move him maybe even further down to mark up one of the zombies and the down white maybe. Problem here in general, there isn't a lot you can do, is there, as the Chaos Coach. I think maybe even just standing up that Beastman and just letting him take the punch rather than getting KO'd on.
Well, basically, this Beastman is in the same position that the German army was in the 1945. Very, very bad position.
Yeah, precisely.
Well,
We
this
see
is
a
a fact.
blitz here from the wolf.
He got he got most of his Chaos Warrior free, but doesn't change the fact. Oh.
So this is a
Say
surf
bye-bye, Mr. Goatee.
from the necro side.
Yep.
And the power as well.
And
Though it
Goatee
doesn't
goes
matter,
bye-bye.
but I see the ball flying out. Scattering in for the necro side of things, a semi-banned position since the edge up white can't fetch it, and you have your wolf kinda in a lockdown. The Chaos can come and pick it up next turn.
Yeah. Well, basically, he still can make a 3+ dodge on the werewolf. If he gets rid of the flash, the flash golem gets rid of the blocking beastman.
Yeah.
Oh, and something's wrong with the stream.
I would think that you would at least mark the ball with one of the zombies, like that, in before doing anything, just to make the pickup harder, and basically remove the Chaos Warriors from that play as well.
I do have some problems with the stream. Is it me or? Oh, okay, it's back.
We had a bit of dip there in the internet cloud, so to say.
Oh, poor doggy. Poor doggy. But he did it.
He did it, and the pickup is
good. He really did it. Good doggy. Somebody's getting a bone.
Precisely. Now, just a question. Can keep it safe, though knowing Jeff, he will probably take the dodge through here. It's only a 3+ to then blitz the wolf. Putting the wolf up a square might seem strange, but now when we click on this beastman, we see immediately it becomes a 4+ instead.
Yeah.
Because it
for the beastman
up.
and for the Chaos Warrior.
Exactly.
Also, the flash golem up there is having a lot of fun.
He's just bullying this Chaos Warrior.
Yeah. Maybe he always wanted to be a Chaos Warrior, but none of the gods chose him, so he's mad.
Yeah, might be.
At least some of his parts are mad, because as we all know, flesh golems are made of whatever the necromancer finds.
Yep, precisely. My question here, though, do you take the 4+? And after that, who is picking up the ball, right?
Yeah.
Those are the two questions that you ask yourself in the head of being this Chaos Coach.
Well, let's face it, he has to score this turn, because if he doesn't, there is no option scoring on the last turn. Because even if he gets the ball, he can probably get Wizard to the face. Oh, yeah. And it's the Chaos Warrior.
Problem is that you can't really score this turn because you don't have any scoring threats. Yeah. That's the issue. So you're just picking up the ball, preparing to score next turn. You fail that, you reroll that, I would imagine.
Yeah, of course, but I love this in this game. You don't fail a 4+, but you fail a 3+.
Yeah. I don't think you do any G5s here because they don't matter that much.
Yeah, it doesn't change anything.
Yeah, though you do the 3+ with this beastman just to protect him a bit more.
Yeah. No.
That would seem to me be cyanide pathing more than anything else.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Because he could have gotten down to underneath where the current ball carrier are.
Yeah.
And I've seen mistakes from like that from Jeff before, where pathing have been a problem as well before.
Yeah, you do have to take in consideration that the pathing is quite stupid sometimes, so you have to go sometimes one
Yeah,
square after another.
precisely.
Okay, so this is the guard one. Okay, so even if he guys thinks map, he will gain assist on this side to get rid of the ball. Yeah, but he still can do it without that much problems.
Yeah, and the thing is also with a Agit 4 guard player is that you can just dodge out on a port 2+, right? So the dodge isn't that scary to make.
Yeah.
Now, though, you have a lot of players around, so this block would be an easy assist to make the good block here happen. Ooh, that's a big knockout.
That's called Mighty Blow.
Yep.
To be honest, some people in the chat may think that it will be much more. Well, on one hand, this is a safer bet because you're going with the extra mighty blow guy, which has a far more chance of getting. Oh, I'm dead.
Yeah, so we just saw a piling on happen and the ball scattered to the wolf and then to the beastman. Now getting marked from both sides of the wolves. On the wolves. Giving actually a Jeff a bit of a out here if successfully played.
Yeah.
Indeed, Azamim, that case where you got gutted. Yeah, he did.
Well, basically, this is the problem because if you're blocking with a ray, you got only one option of scoring, but you got the mighty blow and you got the piling on. On the other hand, when you're blocking with the werewolf, you got two options. So it's easier to take out the ball from his hands, but much
Yep.
more difficult to get him out because a mighty blow is better than a claw. If they are combined, they're awesome. But if you have to choose mighty blow or claw, mighty blow first is a better option always.
That was a mistake from Superfed's side. A big mistake that I will soon learn very fast why. Now, this Chaos Warrior can come in here from the backside, Shane push this werewolf into the beastman, possibly make it even so that
no.
the beastman could move
He
somewhere else.
reconsidered.
He reconsidered, yeah, he did.
But he's still in a bad position.
He is in a better position now, a much better position I would say. Since now a Shane Bock push on this Beastman, Bullback Carrier Beastman, isn't that likely. And we still have the battle between the two Strength 4 giants in the background here.
Yeah, they're just having fun. They don't care about the game.
Yeah.
Okay, so what will you do, my chaos friend?
I think you punch this white, yeah.
He'll be dodging with the beastman.
Maybe even dodge out with the Beastman here. Yeah, so you punch with the warrior here, and then you dodge out with your Mighty Blow Beastman. You punch this white, and then you can chain push out your Beastman to an easy square, right? To the side. And then you have only a 4+3+ instead of a 4 or 5+, 4+3+.
Yeah.
Just go. I don't think there's a lot of many other ways to do this. Blitzing from the other end of things, blitzing this werewolf, don't really do much for you.
Well, it puts you in the worst position than you are.
Yes.
Oh, it's going this way. Okay.
Blitzing this way was a good option as well, I would say. Yeah. Unfortunately, blitzing with a 1 die isn't the best of them at the moment.
Well, if you have a block, then blitzing with a 1 die is a 2+ wall, so it isn't that hard.
Yeah.
especially if you don't need to put your enemy down on the on the pitch.
Yeah.
If you just need to move him, it's a 2+, very very low risk chance. But if you don't have it, now then it changes to a 3+, which isn't that great. It's okay, but isn't that great.
Yeah. Now we are gonna see a lot of blocks here from Superfed side, hoping to cast out some more players in before
Well,
the end of
he's
this
in a very
half.
good position because he starts the next turn with one extra player rather
Yeah.
than his opponent. At least one, because we don't know what will happen to the KO Beastman.
Yeah. I think we can definitely see here Superfed is calculating up to match that strength 5 guy. Or if he wants to go and maybe blitz the Mighty Blow Claw guy instead. But so far we are seeing people rounding up here to punch the strength 5 guy. And we do unfortunately not find it.
Well, he still has an option.
To do a 1-die.
To do a 2-day.
Do a 4+ dodge with the zombie, you mean?
No. Ooh.
Because I can't
Basically,
really see what you're talking about otherwise.
I would just go follow up with this Wraith and try to get the Cast Warrior with the SG4.
Yeah, that's a 1-die.
No, it's a 2-day.
Was that a 2-die?
Yeah, if he would follow, yes, it was a 2-day. You got the assist from the other Wraith and the zombie. So it's 5 against 4.
But that case were the strength 5 case warrior.
Oh, this was the strength 5? Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
My bad.
Your math were adding up if it was a normal case warrior, but unfortunately it was indeed the strength 5 case warrior.
Yeah,
Still
so
there. So now we see a defensive setup here from Jeff on his defensive drive, as the Necro
well,
is.
he's 3 shorts, 2 short to be honest.
Yeah, he's
But
2 plays short.
He's a Chaos Warrior with a Mighty Bow, which hurts very much.
Yeah. Also getting that movement bust as well on it. Probably won't come back from that.
He will be offered to the gods as like a sacrifice.
Yes. I think here what Jeff is doing is trying to ascertain who you want to get murdered, basically on the list line, right? Is it worth it to just put maybe 3 Chaos Warriors up there, or is it better to just put the Beastmen straight up? I think that he did the right choice though, by just putting Beastmen up.
Well, we got another half to play, and the winner of this game goes higher. So you do have to take into consideration that the losing players at this moment, just for the win, isn't that optimal.
No, but it's still, you gotta do what you gotta do to win, right?
Yeah, I know, but losing a Beastman is something you can take in consideration. But losing a Chaos Warrior hits you much more.
Yeah. I think right now that we are viewing either a 1-turn attempt or a 2-turn attempt here by Superfed, it seems.
Well, if he manages to make a 1-turner or a 2-turner even, he's in a very good position because he has the numbers advantage, and also it's not him who has to play fast.
No. I actually would like here for Superfed to play slow, just to take advantage over the fact that he is up players at the moment. Scoring here would just mean that that Beastman that is KO'd would have another roll to coming back, increasing the numbers of the Chaos team. And we see a high kick from the Chaos coach.
Another
over
high
to
kick.
the Necro side. Let's see if this white is as lucky as the Blodge Beastman.
Yep.
He was. 2 high kicks, 2 catches so far. Now we see blocks coming down here.
Ooh. No, but
That was a hard-hitting armor break. I would imagine that this is one of those scenarios where, would think that if you want to pile on or not, since it is a KO, maybe want to farm some more SVP on that white. But I think he did the right choice here, not pile on, since it doesn't really matter more than some few SVP for that white at the moment.
also, you have to remember that every player is a bit of a wild animal. So if you push him against the wall, he doesn't have anything to lose.
Yeah.
If you push him too much and you got the potential option of fouling, I would foul.
Yeah. Same. Do we see now a blitz here from one of the wolves into a skull and a block?
Which always hurts because if it wasn't if it just was a push, it would be much better.
Yep.
For example, like the zombie did down there.
Then you would have gotten those extra 2 dice, but since it wasn't...
Oh, and we got a kicker. And wham in the face.
But nothing happened. And we go for actually a pass play here to the wolf. Just to gain that 1 extra SPP on that white.
Well, for him it's a very easy roll. For the wolf it's a normal, so yeah, and it's always 1 SPP you have. Oh, tricky one.
I like that he moved back with this wolf and actually went for the slow play rather than the fast 2-turn that he seemed to have set up.
Yes, but it's a thing that can bite him in the ass in the end. Bye-bye, Wolfie. I do have it much easier because my game client is set to only show animations on armor breaks.
Yeah.
So I know when the armor breaks happen.
Yeah, I don't have it set to anything because I'm reading the dice.
No, I just like it. It's, you know, the pow, wham.
Yeah, I have had a few bugs, unfortunately, with the client being with animations, and I forgot to turn them on. I usually have them on for streaming matches, but so I'm sorry, audience, for that. But
also, I do see it like the old Adam West Batman show with the, you know, the pows and the wows and all of it. So it's much more fun to watch it that way.
Now is the question here, can Jeff get any more blocks in that is beneficial to him? He's basing a lot here, hoping for those removal to come in, or for Superfed to fail basically something here, it feels like, and then be able to punch him back afterwards.
For something like this.
Is this a break?
Nope. Almost.
Stand firm though. Yeah. Very close, yeah. On 9 there for the armor.
Yeah, but if this goes the way it goes, the cast player can start doing more riskier action on 1 dice, because the more the time passes, he is in the worst position. Especially that the Necros still have the mage, so...
Exactly. The wizard is still very much up. And the Necro Coach, I think, is a lot of a better position here than you most of us think. Oh, we see a dead here.
And he sunk like the Titanic.
Yep. And we can't even apple that Beastman, since the apple was already used. And we see a Race of the Dead as well.
Yay.
Happening.
And everybody cheers the Necromancer. Basically...
Yep. I would say that Awesome Aim had his money on Jeff for this match. With that comment.
To be honest, this is the moment when the advantage on the Necro side grew exponentially
Very much so,
because
yeah.
he lost one player, but the other coaches gain one player. This is the fact we have to always take into consideration when playing against Undead or Necro. But for them, it's quite easy to get that one extra player when you lose one.
Yeah. And also, not only that he lost a player, he lost a block guard one as well.
Yeah,
For this match. And not to be something that we need to forget as well is that might be tilt inducement as well. Losing a lot of those heavy hitters for your team might taking a toll on this psychological side as well.
yeah.
Um,
Well, basically, the first problem because when you're playing Blood Bowl, when any of the player dies, even if it's a goblin or a it's nothing, which you know they will die, it still hurts you in the head.
yeah,
But when you're playing Necro on that and you see your player dying and then them gaining one, it's even the psychological side of it. It's much more hard hitting.
yeah. Osman says, I don't think I've had any money at the end of the day at this rate. Very understandable. Same
Yeah,
here. If I were to bet on these matches. Happy that I don't. Now though, I think this Necro Coach is just gonna use his zombies and his overpower here, and just roll up this right side,
yeah,
slow and steady.
yeah,
Not
maybe.
to take any too long strides. I wouldn't
Yeah,
be too surprised here to see a dodge from Yef here with his Cryfangle, a Beastman, and just basically trying to roll him down the pitch so
yeah.
he can get some sort of
Pressure.
pressure going, right?
Yeah. Especially that we all know at this point that it will be this werewolf that carries the ball that will be scoring. Because
Yeah,
this score for him is a level up.
exactly. I think this werewolf is the key player here.
Okay, so his plan was not to dodge with the Beastman, was rather to make him free normally.
Yeah.
Oh,
Ooh, that is hurtful for Yef.
yeah.
Dice coming in and not in the right end here, at the right
No.
time. Though I think Yef made the right play here.
Yes.
Unfortunately, I still think that he should have still taken the push and not the block. Since players can actually misclick and not
But
choose to stand firm there.
yeah, okay, but let's face it. At this point of the match, it isn't the Necro coach that is nervous.
No, there's not. But there's always
And
mistakes, and mistakes
yeah,
can cost you a
there
game.
are always mistakes, but you have to take in consideration that mistakes happen on both sides.
True.
And I would also go for to be honest, I would even not reroll the first roll
Okay,
because I was taught when playing Blood Bowl that you don't reroll good rolls, no
I
matter
see.
what, unless it's a duo die situation, and this wasn't a duo die situation.
It kinda is though.
No, 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 you're not getting me here. I would prefer to go with the push and then keep the reroll for the dodge of the Beastman rather than reroll this one.
I understand, but I would say that the power here was just as likelier than the dodge. I would say maybe, and the fact also that maybe the dice hit the block dice, so to say, if that would have succeeded, would have been more profitable for Jeff than just
Yeah.
dodging. But I see
On that I do
I see
agree,
your
but
meaning though.
if you're in this position, I would prefer to do as much of safe actions as I can
Yeah,
and keeping the rerolls when I need them because you will need them because you will need to make very risky plays.
yeah.
And burning rerolls on things like that isn't something that will help you.
No. Hello there, Darstack. No dead elves today, unfortunately. We are casting a game of the semi-final between Jeff and Superfed of
But
the
we do have a dead
Perpetual-Ladder.
beastman.
But we do have some dead beastmen, if you want,
Yep.
if you that will please you.
Yeah. We got a dead goat.
Yeah, and I mean we have though a full team of dead people as well, except the werewolves. So
Well, that technically the werewolves have regeneration, so they are dead.
It's a. I don't know what the law behind them are.
To be honest, the fact that I'm a bit of a lore geek, but
Mm-hmm.
I'm more a Warhammer lore
Yeah.
geek rather than I know more about.
So what
And
would be the law about werewolves in 40k then, or in Warhammer? Sorry.
in Warhammer, that's the fact. There, there isn't many lore on them
Ah.
because basically the undead team. This
Mm-hmm.
is the thing that is considered of what was in the Warhammer world, and
Mm-hmm.
the Necros isn't that much.
Okay.
But I can tell you a thing I know about the werewolves. Back
Mm-hmm.
in the first or the second edition, they got a rule that make them take a test if there was a treeman on the pitch. If they fail, they have to go to the treeman and piss on it.
Yes, I've heard about this rule
Yeah.
before. It
Also,
was
they
quite a funny rule, but then again, it was back then. It was more a beer and pretzel game, and then they kind of fixed it, didn't they?
well, the regeneration work on a 2+.
Yeah. Drastic. Oh,
And
oh, we see another dead.
oh,
That's
nice
a
one!
big
Yes,
one. That's a
nice
big
one.
one.
And a fail. Oh, damn it!
So that's a failed
Yes.
flesh golem going down. A block god
Oh.
one.
Oh.
There we see the action of the claw mighty blow happening. As I was saying, Drastak said that I would prefer the dead elves, but you cannot have everything. I think he got what he wanted anyway. And
How
Tessa John
absurd.
says Feds turns to embrace the golemless life.
And you know
Indeed
what's
he
the funny
does.
thing? The mighty blow wasn't in use.
Yeah, that's actually
The
a funny
clean
thing.
8 in the clean 11, so yeah.
Ooh, yeah,
Oh, and
that
it's a
was a straight up
6,
punch.
so yeah, you cannot get more dead than that.
Nope. Now is the question though, does Jeff have a way out of this? I'm guessing you're blocking this werewolf, hoping it would go down to then possibly move closer to the other werewolf. I don't think you're... Oh, he is dodging out.
Why not? He's got a reroll, and
True.
to be honest, this uh, this depth of the flesh golem can be probably a slap in the face, but in a good way for the cast player.
Yeah, very much so.
It may make him to snap out because he was probably, I'm thinking, and I know I would be, in a very bad mental position after what happened a few turns earlier. But now, it's like, yeah, I
Yeah.
think I can do it. And let's face it, the werewolf is fast, but he still needs at least 2 turns to score.
Yep.
So what happens if there is a tie?
I think it goes over to overtime. There cannot be a tie. I will actually pull up the rules for that.
So there goes the golden goal rule. Oh,
Ooh,
another injury.
this
Belly
time
hurt.
though, no death,
Ow.
but
Yeah, but let's face it, the cast team is melting faster than a snowball in summer.
yep, very much so, very much so.
But also, I know that players aren't like that, but I'm seeing the grin on the face of the Necro players like, yeah, you got my Flash Golem? Now take this, and this, and
Yep.
this.
Yep,
In
I
your
fully
face.
understand that.
Let's face it, it's Blood Bowl. We all love each other in the league. But when you're sitting against the other coach, you insult the guy.
Yeah,
Because
you're
this is
trying
how
to
Blood
cause
Bowl
as much
works.
harm as you can.
Yeah, physical and mental. And then you end the match and you go as friends.
Exactly. I don't. I would say that we are going with the normal playoff rules that we have in Rebel, since I can't see any concrete rules that would be what would be happening. Let me write a message real quick.
Well, I recall collecting the normal rules for Blood Bowl stand that If there's a tie, then they go to overtime, and if they not can make it in two halves of the overtime, then we got a falling zombie and a stun. Then you go for the kicks, which are basically dice rolls, and if this is also a draw, then it's a coin toss. This is basically how Blood Bowl works normally.
Yep.
Which, if it ends in a coin toss and the chaos would won, I would laugh.
Yeah,
Very
that's
hard.
what I'm looking up at the moment, because I don't know if we are playing by the clan rules of overtime or the rebel rules of overtime here.
Well, if you can. Okay, cat. So what's the difference?
So
Because I'm a
the clan rules have a special edition rule with it, where so if an overtime happened and you are defending, and attacker never scores, you are winning as the defendant. We are not relying on the coin toss of being kicking the ball. Well, I've asked for it. Let's see if I can.
Okay, the mutilator goes
answer.
into action and nothing happens. Which is
See, some of this Chaos team though is breaking kind of free here.
yeah, and they are breaking on the right side, to be honest.
Yeah, they are starting more and more to come closer and closer to this ball carrier. Though the Necro team still has a wizard, even though we can't
And
see it,
a number advantage.
and a number advantage. But
Why we cannot see the wizard? What happened?
probably some illusion bug.
Well, because I cannot see it in my client also, so that's
see.
what I asked.
It probably, because I haven't seen him use it, right? And I don't see any marks on the field, so probably not used just yet. I think it's still there, but it's invisible for us to see. It's normal for it to bug like that.
Well, not using the wizard that often, so then,
Yeah.
I consider I prefer raw orc strength rather than some puny magic.
Yeah. I'm an elf player. I don't mind a bit of magic to help me out sometimes. But then again, I do rely on the magic of the dice most of the time when I'm playing. As many of my viewers probably already know. I think I would just go around with this zombie. Maybe even mark the Chaos Warrior with the claw. And stand up the white.
Stand up the white. To be honest, at this point, I would stand up the right. The undead version of the Blitzer. I would stand up with him. And this zombie, no, but
it's good at least to.
Okay, so yeah,
fine.
now it's a 2 dice block, so we have to stand up and just
Yeah.
make the doggy free.
It's still a 1 die, because this once again a strength 5 warrior. But he finds the POW nonetheless.
Now he'll be jumping. He'll be...
I think we will pile on this as well.
Yeah. To be honest, I know that he is in the better position.
No, we don't. We move and position ourselves a bit better for the coming turns here.
The first question on my
on your side, yeah.
Oh, I'm looking what he's doing, and let's face it, he's considering a foul.
I would say that he's considering going with the ball a bit safer and just stalling out this turn and then scoring on turn 16 is his goal.
Basically, he probably started taking in consideration the fact that the Mighty Blow Cloak Chaos Warrior is quite scary.
Yep.
And probably it has something to do with that flesh golem in the stands on the left, but I don't know.
Might be so, yeah.
Yeah, probably.
And also, as you said before, when you're coming to the next game here you want as a live team as possible. Yeah, we are seeing a foul on that Chaos Warrior. That breaks.
Oh,
Ooh.
damn it! And
That is another movement loss, making
ooh.
it the second movement loss of this game on the Chaos Warrior side.
Also, a clean foul.
Very clean foul, yeah.
Yeah, I
I
tend into
would say
11.
that this Chaos team is not looking that good for his next game, if he is the winner of this one, in the end.
And
I
if
would
he
say
isn't,
that it's...
I'm thinking that they can go to the grinder.
That is my thoughts as well,
Yeah.
in this position.
Well, let's face it, a busted movement, those are not black orcs.
No,
I got
they're not.
one black orc with a busted movement, but he's still useful.
Yeah,
And
these
Chaos
are
Warrior,
Chaos Warriors.
yeah, they aren't that much, because my this is the difference. A Chaos Warrior is a much more offensive oriented player, and a Black Orc is a much more defensive oriented player.
It kind of depends though on how you're building your Chaos Warriors, because I would say that if these two had tackle, block, stand firm, guard, for example, they wouldn't be carrying their lives if they got a movement down or not. But from the position that they are in, one is also a mighty blow. You kind of want to exploit that movement, that slight higher movement than slower players. And once again, we are seeing this claw mighty blow, Chaos Warrior just ripping through people.
Yeah, he's probably pissed. I'm thinking that goat was his pet goat.
Might be, yeah.
Yeah, he's pissed.
Now though, from this Necronic player, we're just gonna see him rumble through this pitch, I would imagine. Slowly and steady moving forward.
Well, to be honest, I'm quite surprised that he isn't trying to feed the Chaos Warrior one by one. Okay, so there will be a revenge on the Chaos Warrior with a werewolf. Let's see what the doggy does.
Yep,
Doggy
and
does
this time it
nothing.
is a 2-die, because it is not a strength 5.
Yeah.
And he finds the power with the claw, and it is a KO.
KO.
I would see that this wolf would move one step forward as well.
Yeah.
Because you would not like to base beside that beastman, since you have that strength 5 case as well.
I don't want to be some kind of a bad gypsy, but I don't predict that the Chaos will win this game.
I would agree with you. Though, DICE have another tale for that. If now Superfed would like to make a cage a bit further up here, it seems like some form of cage formation-ish.
Yeah.
That is going for. Just blitzing that block zombie corner with one of the beastmen, let's say then a double skull would happen for Superfed. We are seeing that he's in maybe a deep trouble of that.
Another goat's going down. Yes.
This is though a sent out zombie.
and the judge has woken up.
Yeah, and the stun has landed on that beastman.
Yeah, but still, at this point, Necroplay doesn't care. If he even loses all his zombies to following actions,
that stun was very important as well.
Yeah.
I would think that we're gonna see he's just that blodge beastman is just he's gonna mark up with Krafago on the corner here, and then just splits in with Aldeno.
Yeah.
On the zombie piece. I don't think you would ever.
Oh,
he's going for those red dice. Not having a reroll at this state though means that he has to eat that skull. And I think we can use the word "this is over," folks.
Yeah, we
with
would.
That lock.
Yeah, having a pick here that will say it would be much more fun, but yep, it's all, folks.
Yeah. Well played though to Superfed, I would say.
Yeah.
From this, going slow and steady forward.
Yeah, but on the other hand, let's face it, the dice did help a bit.
The dice did help a bit, the cast did, yep.
Yeah.
I think we are seeing now a last block here on that strength 5 Chaos Warrior, just to finish the job off, so to say.
Yeah, and it will
And
be a piling on no matter what, probably.
yeah, and literally killing this team, hopefully. Kill, kill, kill. Oh. Yeah, close enough.
Ah, KO. So basically, first question, who will kick the poor goat that's lying on the pitch?
I think you do it with your kick piece, right?
I would do the flash golem.
Flash Golem?
Yeah, let's the guy have some fun.
No, you're doing
Oh.
it with a white. Can we see this animation? If I just...
Oh,
there
nice,
you go.
nice.
That's a hefty
Oh.
boot.
Yeah. Oh, the flash golem found a friend. He wants to
Yeah,
pet
he just
the
wants a
goat.
hug.
Yeah. See? Oh.
Well played though to Jeff and Superfed for coming this far.
Yeah.
In this playoff tournament.
Yeah, a pity that. Oh, so will be the revenge of the goat.
Yep. One night. Nothing happens, unfortunately.
And the question, will he risk it? Will he risk a block?
No, he would not. I would never risk a block. A block here would be detrimental if it is a double skull.
Well,
I would
basically,
not risk a block here.
to be honest, I would risk a block. Because even if they go into overtime, the Necro are in a far better position.
Yeah. No, I think this is reckless. The SVP that is gaining right now on those two or three players that he's blocking with is not worth it. If any of these, I guess he does have the reroll, sure, but
Rerolls can still change to the exactly same rolls.
that was fairly close for being a skull. Those
Yeah.
1 in 3,000 happen, or those 1 in 1,000.
I hope he will not fall because this will be really not okay in my book.
I mean, fouling here, if he was going in for the blocks, then who knows. But we see a score here from Superfed, turning this game into 1-0 and a 1-turn attempt for Jeff. As he does have, indeed, one still turn left. Okay. Jeff does playing Elves, so he could possibly know about this setup for movement 6. That is a 1-turn. Though I doubt it, that many Chaos players will make it back to the pitch, and no.
Only 2, so nope. Not a great option there. Funny thing, the beer stand weren't used even once.
Yep.
No, they were used once.
It was used once, yeah.
Yeah.
It was used once. That play, though, came back. But yeah, we are seeing some blocks here from Jeff's side, and that's the match.
Some blocks.
This, folks, was a paid Patreon match from Jeff's side over at the Rebel Patreon.
Which is the other option that is bad. It hurts us that the paying player is in a so bad position.
Yep. And we're seeing an extra reroll for Superfed here, who didn't even use one.
No, he did use one. He also had got 4 last game. Last turn, sorry. Turn. Damn it.
Talking goes well for us too today. Seems
Yeah.
like. And we see some blocks here.
The zombie goes down with a stun.
And now my dyslexia is kicking in real time.
So vanity pass? Nope. This is all, folks.
Yeah, that is all.
Oh, and the MVP goes to the poor dead Flash Golem.
That's a hurtful MVP, yeah, for Superfed.
Well, considering the fact that the dice was more on the Necro side than the Chaos side, I think it's enough for saying, I'm watching you.
Yeah. Just looking through some of the statistics here, we see 54 blocks versus 42. Fairly average, I would say, in both corners. We see some more breaks from the Necro side. A lot of SPP, good SPP chunk for both of them, though it doesn't matter for Jeff's side as much. The dice log, for those who actually want to look into the dice, doesn't really tell the whole tale, though.
It doesn't tell nothing, to be honest. The dice, if you look at them, they look very average on both sides.
Yeah.
Which they weren't from time to time.
And I will thank my co-host, is it Koshek?
Cheftek.
Yeah.
Don't worry, nobody gets it right.
Yeah, there you go. Well, thank you, and I will thank you, viewers, for watching this game. I will try to find somebody to raid. If I can actually find somebody. Do you have any suggestions?
No, none. Let's face it, my knowledge of Twitch is just, I know how to set up a stream and make a recap, that's all.
Ah, I see. See who's on the Blood Bowl. Yeah, thank you for watching, folk. Let's see if we can actually send you over. Let's send you over to him. One of my fellow crab members are doing his game, it seems. So I'm gonna send you guys over to Falcomac. Wish him well for me, and I will see you guys later.
See you all. Have a good night and stay safe and healthy.
Cheers.
Cheers.
And they are over, and the stream.